we were pretty lucky.
Yep. You don't flood, you just get wet.
We don't, we're complaining about wet paddocks, but we really should just shut up and kill them.
Yeah, well, look, I'm the same. I mean, also for the whole week, I have 7 stables, so I stabled 7 horses, and of course, staff couldn't come to work, so all I did was clean stables and feed horses and go home for an hour or 2, and then come back out in the afternoon and do the whole thing again.
Absolutely.
And I did that for a week. But again, it's like that's nothing. That's fine.
Like, at least we weren't like mucking out mud or sitting on a table wasting time hoping to get rescued before we drown.
Yeah. No, some pretty horrid stories going around.
And then you have Ken.
Danny, yeah. Well, Danny used to come visit me because she couldn't get out the front gate where her horses are. That was like well and truly flooded.
Yeah.
But once it stopped raining, she could walk overland and kind of go underneath the railway line and pop out the other side.
Oh, really?
So we had coffee a couple of days.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You had time for that in between cleaning stables.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Gosh. How far away from here is she? Because her paddocks look like they have a lot of water in them.
Yeah, no, not that far. I don't know.
Great.
Overland.
It's not on a hill like you are.
Well, what she's lucky is where she keeps her horses, because she just suggests paddocks.
Yeah.
And so the low-lying ones, they go really badly underwater, but then it kind of goes up the hill. So she could just move all the horses up the hill. But that's kind of managing them in, paddocks and yards that they're not normally in.
So she chose to stay with the horses.
And she wants to, well, the other thing, but the problem is, you see, she lives at Harrington.
Oh.
So
if she was at home at Harrington, she wouldn't be able to
she wouldn't be able to get to the horses,
Yeah,
so
so-
it's better just to stay there. But she couldn't get out where she was anyway. But and it's kind of good. There's a little old lady that, her husband's died, and she's got a house, the house is there. So Danny kind of was able to spend some time with her, and she did get to get hot meals and showers.
Oh, nice. Because I was thinking about her when I was like nice and snuggled up with my puppies in bed and stuff. Thinking,
Yeah.
Oh,
And there was one
sucks to be
idea that
outside.
she was worried the water was going to come through the shed, and she was off, kind of trying to move hay and floats and all that, because she just didn't know how high anything was going to go.
Just didn't stop, did it?
Just didn't stop. I mean, I saw some article, some news thing. I mean, one farmer was saying, there was the 21 flood, and here's this flood, and
It's crazy.
so all the people that are like, they should have moved their livestock. It's like, well, it's really hard to move 300 cows. And they thought they were okay with the mounds that they had.
Absolutely.
But I suppose you don't know how high it is going to be until it is there.
Well, you don't. You
And
really
then-
don't.
And then some people don't have anywhere to put them.
Well, so where do you put 300 cows?
Yeah. You're not talking about 1 or 2 horses. You're talking.
No, you put them on the float and off you go.
And it's even probably, a bit, the economy of the time. You see, this property here, it was never built on, because it was like, it was the flood property for like places down there. That
Oh, really?
When it used to flood, or they thought it was going to flood, they moved the cattle up to here.
Here. Okay.
But now, you can't afford to keep 20 acres
Just sitting
just for that, I mean, now we're having it every 5 years, but really we hadn't had a flood for, 30, 40 years prior to that.
Yeah, I think it was like 1976 or something was the last big one. So
Yeah. So,
I read that article by Stuart Knox's brother. I don't know if you saw it. Hamish sent it to.
Chris told me about it, I didn't read it though.
I don't know. He was up to his knees with the horses and cows on a hill, and I don't know.
Well,
Apparently,
he's at Modo, which was the hardest hit
Yeah.
kind of area.
and apparently,
horses, did he?
I don't know.
I'm really worried because someone told me that someone that Nell knew had lost 8 horses in a stable. And then I read the article that Stuart's brother wrote, and he talked about him having 8 horses up to the chest in stables. And I thought, it did say that it survived in the article, but I thought, I don't know, my brain just reached in and I thought maybe he just didn't say that they could
crux of the article was he was whinging about the Nationals being anti-climate change.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was that.
That's what it came down to,
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was
in a roundabout way.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think he made the point that he'd had 300-year floods in his lifetime, or, you know.
Yeah.
I think there's some,
But I don't know.
there's a lot of whinging going on about the council and
Yeah. Yeah.
people don't stop.
Hey, Paul, in Cooperdale, by the way. So what? It started raining on Tuesday.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, the SES at lunchtime left.
See
They
you
just
later.
left. Cooperdale had to rescue their own people.
No.
The oyster farmer, and then they for some reason they left the SES had left the boat, so the locals commandeered the boat,
Yeah.
and they were the ones that were out rescuing all the people off the roofs in Moto and Jones Island and
That's a bit rough.
all that. Yeah.
Oh
Who
my
are they?
God. SES left on
Yes,
Tuesday.
yes, left. Now, look, as Chris said, we can't say much. We don't know where they went, but yeah. So so in one way, it's like the SES has done a wonderful thing, but you look at our town, it's like it wasn't the SES that did all these great things.
Yeah, no.
It
It was the locals.
it was the locals out there.
Well, they're saying Wingham was somewhat neglected too. Taree got a lot of the resources.
Yeah.
We went into Wingham out.
See, I think when you get into knowing more about the SES, or it's like, I guess there's just so many rules and regulations in place.
Yeah, that's
Probably so
right.
they don't lose SES people, but the SES, apart from, pretty basic manoeuvres, can't do a lot.
Yeah, they're not doing big rescues. They're just go
No.
out there and move that and do this. And, yeah.
I mean, all the helicopter ones are pretty interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
So, how is he going?
Well, we've been doing very little riding.
Really?
The same as everyone else. We rode him on Sunday. I rode him first in the arena, and then I took him on a trail ride, and we were walking up to his chest in water because it was a bit wet on the trail, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I rode him on Wednesday. Yeah. And it was great.
Yeah.
And then I rode him today. Was it yesterday I rode him? Yeah, it was yesterday. I don't know. I don't have any expectations. I'm hoping no one will die.
Okay, good start.
I think
I
he's
don't
been
know.
going alright though.
Huh?
He's been going alright.
He felt good yesterday, although
I know.
Yeah,
there was a lot of like shying at stupid stuff, and I might have said to Harry, philosophy didn't hate you yesterday because of this. Someone might have died.
Yes, yes.
So we'll see. If it's too bad, then I'll just be up all day.
You'll be okay. I'll turn the lights on.
Hasn't been much going. Don't think.
Haley, enough.
I'm feeding him, so.
Oh, well, okay, that's your problem.
Yeah, sorry.
You're already being a big cat.
I should stop.
First time he's running off at me. Stop it. I'll do 10-meter circles and shot the whole time if I have to.
That's good. He was actually looking good. He looked like he got his weight to mind and he was just
Yeah.
shopping around.
He's just naughty. And it's fresh. Can you see that he is uneven going this way?
I can see he's horrendously uneven.
And I'm gonna get Rob to come and throw a heart-shaped bar shoe on him.
Does he say he needs a heart-shaped bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
We've been talking about it. He came and did his feet 10 days ago.
yeah, so what's he seeing in his feet?
Harry can explain.
He just had a terrible stone bruise.
Oh, okay.
And
he's
it's,
healing from.
he called it a corn.
A corn.
Yeah, and he said it's
And whereabouts is the corn?
left foot on just on the heel.
Yeah. One
Yeah,
second.
okay.
So he kind of works out of it, if that
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense.
no, well,
Well, he's had this, he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
well, it's been like 2.5 months since the stone bruise.
yeah. I don't think it's a stone bruise. I think it's just like
Stop.
Oh, that was a bit late. I only pressed the stop like a few seconds.
We're not stopping fast stones, like.
Yeah.
Oh, Mario, not that I know anything really.
Yeah.
You've got the
Yeah.
capping in there or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, that's where it is, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said if he's still lame, then he's going to come back and put this.
I mean, he did. This is last time he was here. He sort of palpated it, and it was a bit sensitive.
Yeah.
Like he said, I can see that it's there, and he showed us there was a little hole that he said it might, shouldn't get infected, and he did a hot shoeing, and he was okay, but he said, sometimes it can take a while for him to get over it, like a bruise like that, but
Well, it's been like, I mean, 10 weeks?
I think, yeah, and he said
Must have
maybe
been.
whatever that shoe is, he said we can do it so that it takes the pressure off that heel, and you can
Yeah.
still ride him if that makes sense. I don't know enough about it.
Yep.
He'll survive.
Alright. Meanwhile, you've just got to,
Working on it.
think about the balance. So you don't want him to go be there. You want him to be there.
But he
Yeah.
has done that a bit, hasn't he? Like he's always been a bit like that.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Always.
We're always having this thing where you've got to get him back here because he wants to just be, yeah,
Yeah.
Before, like Poppy. Or maybe a
For a
little
long-
bit, but
forever.
but not like that. Like now it's really bad, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but then there was a bit where I said, oh, that's good. That he actually looked good, like for about a quarter of a circle, like he looked really good. Yeah. So,
Once it works,
and it is tricky because sometimes it is just them getting their balance a bit more like that, and sometimes they actually are sore. It's hard to
yeah.
tell, really.
I think he is sore.
And this is why I guess, yeah.
But how sore he is, I mean, as soon as we get him off the ground and working from behind a bit more, then he doesn't do any of that
No.
anymore.
No.
So I just gotta get it sooner, I suppose.
Yep.
I suppose I can take my jacket off now, okay?
Yeah, it's pretty, well, when you ride, it's not so bad. I've got two jackets on to stand here, but
There's no jacket, I can bring it off roughly as well. It's a bit crusty. Going. I'll get him back and show him how to put it.
yeah, you gotta, don't let it.
Hey. All right. sit sometimes.
That's it. Then be straight for a minute, and then leg yield across. And keep that feeling that you do keep the weight up to the hind. Yeah. Good. Then as you come up here, like feel weight behind, weight behind, weight behind, like getting to, yeah, good. Good. Then you're going to do a 10-minute circle at each. Kind of feel like you're taking weight to the hind corner, like bringing around. Maria. Okay. Good. So that's a 12-minute circle.
Yeah.
Good. Go down the next letter, write a 10-minute circle. So feel the weight behind and start turning.
I'll do it here. I think I went past. Your legs are so much closer together than mine.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so trotting around and do a 10-minute circle at P, which is over there. So kind of coming around, and then when you're coming around the corner, you just feel that little weight back behind. Pause. So yeah, if you're feeling kind of he doesn't like to do that, he's like, oh. It's like, yeah, he's got to get better at that. Good. Okay, then up to the next corner. And then very much right in the corner, so you kind of stay buddy, like we're going to half halt. You're going to stay balanced. You're going to go around the corner. Yeah. The same thing there, but make sure like inside leg don't lean to his quarters to the inside. Okay, so he's come around, just turn and turn, and we're going to do those corners again. So he wants to swing his quarters to the inside. When he does the corner, he's got to like, no, you've got to stay in the shoulder floor as you go around the corner. Yep, and then okay, shoulder forward and run forward, shoulder forward, shoulder forward. That was a better rigid corner. Did you feel that he didn't swing?
Yes, I
About?
had my leg on.
Careful there, swing too much on the inside leg, because now you're I don't know what you're doing, but it's not. Let's see if you shoulder floor. Okay, so you were too much on the neck set, you lost the neck set. Good. Come around and just good. Keep that neck in the middle. Yep. Okay, so hand is too much around one hand and the neck kind of left right. So keep your nose in the center. Around again in the circle. Good. Okay, you got his corners to the inside, so you kind of turn your body, turn your shoulders, yeah. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Yep, good. You got tiny, yep, it's like hugging about it, good. Tiny bit of flexion to the inside. Down, 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 full side, yep. Good, then do another small circle where you kind of prepare him and don't let him go changing his neck around. You're like, no, 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 no. Oh, and then okay, so what happened there that you went all crooked all of a sudden?
Then I kicked him in the gut.
Okay, did you kick with the outside leg or the inside leg?
Inside leg.
Alright, because he kind of went, I'm going to put my corners in.
And just like, I don't know, maybe.
But you know, like, I mean, I think it's a bit, he's like, goes, this is hard, I'm going to start doing this maybe. But you've got to kind of keep that, draw forward, keep round through his circles.
Come on, we'll do that. Shut and we'll just circle in the corner. Big bloody circle with this.
Good. Keep turning the shoulders, don't get caught into letting the quarters lead.
Another one.
Yep, then do a circle and keep him round between two ranks. Like feel